Hello, and welcome back to episode 6, I think, of Geometry Dash Storytime with Jeremy. Hey, I can open a chest. Very exciting way to start the episode. But yes, we are back for another part. It's been a little bit since I recorded one, actually. But, yeah. So, I hope you got something out of the intermission episode. But now we're back onto our main timeline and our main story. So we left off our main plot after I beat Cataclysm, and the next thing of much note I did was Flas Major. Flat Major by this guy at level. Possibly made by like the Jake or whatever the fuck guy who's changed his names a billion times that beat every 9 circles level. Didn't he make this the layout or something? Flat and like end level redecorated it. I think that's what happened. This is old memories I'm not totally confident in. But yes, Flat Major. I beat this level for my 600th demon milestone. The next big one after 500. And yeah, this yet another difficult 9 circles level. Not Crimson Clutter's league, but it's pretty tough. And we have this just ultra free drop, which is definitely a gameplay decision to just have the first third of the level be so easy. But yeah, this level is, it's kind of neat. I find this like a really neat like counterpart to Crimson Clutter because they really test such like opposite attributes of wave. Like this level is all like short and dense and about like click patterns, where Crimson Clutter is a lot. I mean, it's also pretty short, but it's way more like wave timings and like longer strokes and stuff. And this one's all like wacky patterns, so like this and Crimson Clutter together kind of make a pretty good like wave skill boost. Beating both of these levels, like I think will get you a ton better at the wave. I think this normal wave is like the hardest part, in my opinion at least. I recall a rather amusing conversation with Cookie on Revan's server. That apparently this was like so easy, and he was talking about how hard like the duel was, when I thought the duel was pretty easy. Yeah, this normal wave is like hard. I don't know, this shit's crazy, I think. It's a really tough pattern. Not really once you get to you, but like, yeah, I think that's hard. So yeah, like there's this click at the start of the duel. Like you gotta go up through that like one space, which is definitely a choke point, but I feel like other than this, like the duel's not that hard. I mean, that's what I recall anyway. Maybe I'm gonna get wrecked in this practice run, but that's how I recall this going. Yeah, like these gaps are all pretty wide in my I'd say. I don't think this duel is very difficult. But who knows? Maybe that's just me. Sound off in the comments. Is the duel hard or not? Yeah. Well, I'm failing at this part of it apparently, but yeah. There we go. I guess the other main lore about this level, I kind of beat it thanks to the goat Willis. If that's he's gone by a few names. I don't know if he like actually goes by like erased or any of his like old names. Maybe I'm supposed to still be, I don't know. We'll still call him Willis, but you know, good friend of Supreme. Who, I mean, honestly, I never like talked personally to him that much, but he was a very dedicated. Let's get out of that song. He was a hell of a grinder on mobile, and he beat this level on 60 hertz mobile in like 75,000 attempts, which was a crazy grind. It was pretty inspiring, so I wanted to try it out for a milestone because it kind of had lore within the friend group. I don't remember if this might have also been part of like Supreme's like first 50 demons, maybe. Maybe he beat it later on. I don't really remember, but yeah, this level had some lore in the friend group thanks to Willis. So it was a level I wanted to do, and I picked it for the milestone, which went pretty well. So, yeah, if I was smart, I would have like looked up the date of when I beat this and some of the other things. Because honestly, I'm mostly doing this off of just like a list of levels I like wrote down on a note beside me, and just kind of hoping I remember stories to tell about them and everything. But yeah. But in any case, the next level of note that I have written down is none other than Accu. I keep like pressing enter, expecting that to do something, but no, that does not do anything in this game. But yeah, this is one of the levels that exists that I've beaten. I'm actually I might not have played even a single attempt of this since the day I beat it like 5 years ago or whatever. So 4 or 5 years ago, something like yeah, it would have had to be 5. So this might like actually be the first time I've played it in so long. I almost wonder. I'm probably not. I I don't know. I doubt the mashup I used is. I don't know if it's on Song File Hub. I'm not gonna keep looking through that. I think this is like the only level I've ever beaten with a mashup because good buddy Savage Chris made one that I thought was really funny. But yeah, Fuck you, my Nage Few. This is definitely a level I have opinions on. So this level really came out and just kind of became the de facto like best first extreme demon to beat, which like it's somewhat fair. It kind of I feel like maybe it deserved it at first, especially when like the other option was like Cataclysm. And while spoiler, we'll get into why I don't actually like this level, but like it's still better than Cataclysm at least. I can admit that. It's not that garbage, even if there's a lot of things I don't like about it. So I guess it's kind of fair that it became like the first extreme everyone does. But yeah, I find this level like very overhyped. There's a lot of things I don't like about the balancing and the creator. How does this part work again? Also, like, I feel like I see some people sometimes, like, I guess it's not that hard to do this as, like, a timing, but you can just click under that platform and fall. You don't have to do this as a timing at all with the spikes. So, that is Mackew's pre-draw, and that's kind of the beginning of the issues I have with this level is it's just balanced in such a irritating way. Because it's not even it's like this level has what I like to call W balancing, which perhaps to some others might sound like a good thing, but it's actually like such garbage balancing. Because I mean like literally it looks like a W on like a graph of the level, as in like the beginning's really hard, and like then it gets easier, and it like spikes a little bit in the middle, but then it's still like easy in the middle, and then the end is really hard again. And like that kind of sucks ass, if we're being honest. because you're like both very liable to get stuck playing the beginning, which is a little questionable, and you're also very likely to rack up a ton of end deaths. So it's like a really frustrating way to balance a level. And that is definitely one of the bigger reasons I find this level like overrated and shouldn't really be necessarily like the best first extreme everyone should go for. Because like this part, I mean, I guess the wave is kind of difficult. I should acknowledge that like I'm just good at the game. I don't think I found the waves like too hard, but they are more difficult for like people doing first extremes. But for me, like all of this gameplay is just like it's so much easier than the pre-drop. Like it's just way less tight for like all of this. And I mean, okay, I don't want to just be like. Also, I'm like this little. I think the decoration also kind of got overrated. Like it looks fine, but like there's definitely better looking modern levels. This is pretty simplistic modern style deco. There's definitely better, so I don't quite know why. I mean, yeah, at this point I don't even remember that much. Like, did it really get, like, that, like, hyped up for the deco? Like, it looked fine. But, like, I don't think it ever looked, like, amazing. And yeah, so here we're kind of in the middle, and this part is, like, this is a little bit harder than, like, the first part of the drop, but it's still, like, not that bad. And, yes, this wave is something. I think this is also, for people doing a first extreme, I think a lot of people find this wave the hardest part. I didn't, because, like, I have experience with harder levels and hard waves already. Yeah, I can just do it. Still, apparently. I don't think this is that hard, but... That is definitely, it depends on your experience with the game. See, and, like, again, I think this probably is consistent with what I thought about it, even at the time I beat it, but, like, on this practice run, like, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying playing this gameplay. This middle part is fun. Like, I like this a fair bit. Like, the wave is cool. Like, a lot of this middle part flows pretty well, and I'm enjoying this. But you have to play the pre-drop every time, and also this shit at the ending. Like, this part is also just, like, so much more awkward. Like, you gotta do, like, there's so many, like, timings and just awkward shit you have to do here, and just specific things. Like, again, we're at the other end of the W, and, like, this part's so much harder than the middle, in my humble opinion, at least. You gotta time this precisely. And, like, there's just all of this is, like, timings, and so many, like, depend on other timings. And yeah, like, this is just such an annoying thing to... It's just so annoying for the end. I don't think... I definitely had some ending deaths. I think I might have had, like, 92 or something. I don't think I died... I don't know if I died past 92. I don't believe I had 98 or anything. So yeah, that's Accu. Obviously, like, I don't... There's a certain amount of, like, I view it almost more negatively because, like, I disagreed so much with, like, how much other people seem to like it, but, like, it's not that bad of a level. I think I gave it, at the time, like, a 4 out of 10, which is maybe a little harsh. Or maybe I'm misremembering how annoying the beginning and end are. Like, I could still give it, like, a 5 out of 10. It's terrible, but I did find it a little, like, I just couldn't quite see why everyone else loved it. And there's also the angle of, like, I do not believe for a second that Neishu actually verified this level legitimately, for several reasons. I feel like I should maybe explain that a little bit. And, like, it's not just because of the level's unbalanced that I think he hacked it, but, like, I don't believe he verified it because, Like from everything I like saw Neju say on like Twitter and things, he just seems to have the game knowledge of like an easy demon player. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to keep this a little short because I don't want this to just be a like hate train completely. But like Neju is just like I just he like said some things on Twitter that are just like so stupid that like I think anyone actually good enough to beat an extreme demon would understand is false. Like he always had this thing about like he doesn't think levels should be balanced, but like he apparently thinks that a level being balanced means that every single individual click in the level is the exact same difficulty. But that's not what a level being balanced means, and anyone who's beaten a remote, like, any amount of, like, hard demons should understand that. So, like, I just don't believe, and, like, there's more than that, but I don't really feel like fully getting into it. But, like, I just don't believe that Neishu, I don't believe he could be an extreme demon based on, like, how he viewed the game, and I just think anyone good enough to beat an extreme demon, like, understands things that he seems to not. Is kind of a lot of my case against why. And obviously, like, he didn't provide a verification video, so I don't believe he verified it legit. But at the same time, like, it got victors, like, so fast. We can just, like, pretend, like, I think, like, Equalizer, like, provided some footage for an issue, so we can just, like, pretend Equalizer verified it with no balancing input, I guess. But yeah, that's that. Accu rant over. We're end of negativity for this video, probably. It's not actually like that bad of a level, but I do have a lot of issues that at least people at the time didn't really seem to see. But yeah, Accu, I beat it kind of suddenly. It was honestly in a very similar vein to Cataclysm, as like I kind of just like had been trying a bunch of other stuff, but then eventually came back to just like this level's like not actually that hard. Maybe I should just actually beat it to like get another extreme under my belt and get more experience. So yeah, I believe I came back this. I beat this on like New Year's or something. I think I had an arc on it previously, and like rage quit it, and eventually like came back and beat it in like a couple sessions around the New Year. Into, I mean, I guess it would have been like New Year 2021. Yeah, Jesus, that fucking long ago. It would have been around the New Year's 2021 that I beat this, which is crazy. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about Accu. And I'm gonna play a few other things, but very, very shortly after I did Anatomy. I'm sure that's enough to find. Thanatophobia by Artumanka. Apparently they've just shortened to R2. But yes, again, this has gotten demoted to Insane Demon for some reason, but Accu was my 4th Extreme Demon at the time, and this was my 5th. And this really, like, we had one of the Supreme server packs for it, but, like, Accu, Thanatophobia, Cataclysm pretty much were just, like, the 3 beginner extremes that everyone does. And, like, the vast majority of people, kind of from that time on, did, like, one of those 3 levels for a first extreme. So I wanted to finish this one. And, at this level, I absolutely love this level. I think a lot of people have issues with the pre-drop, which I can understand, even if I don't entirely agree. The ship is, like, a little boring, but this level's so good. I find this level so much fun, and I really like the theming and song and just how it's made. Okay, so there's also lore to this first input here, pretty much. This red orb, green orb thing. Let's see, because I believe. So what's going on here is you can kind of just right now you can just hit the red orb and like buffer the green orb, but there's sort of it's kind of I didn't know that was a thing, and this was like the hardest input in the level for me was like timing this red orb and like timing the green orb properly. But it's sort of been a little bit lost to time. I mean, maybe you could find an old copy and figure it out, but I made this level like semi recently after it released. I mean, probably not that recently, but this level did get like updated, so it's a little kind of lost to time. I'm not certain if I'll ever know if this being like such a hard timing, if that was like patched out in an update, because there was some bug fix update. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever know if you could always do that or if it was updated to make this better. But when I beat this, this was like a fucking impossible ass timing because I had like you have to hit the red orb fairly tightly and then like also do it in such a way that you can like hit the green orb later was my experience while beating this level, which you definitely don't have to do nowadays. And it's possible that I also didn't have to do it when I beat this and just didn't know that. But I'm gonna make it my headcanon that I'm not that stupid and it actually was updated. So we're gonna pretend that that's only possible in the update for my happiness. But yeah. Anyway, it is hard as fuck to play this while yapping so much, but let's try to like actually play the level a bit. My attempt count is also in the way. But yeah, this part, it's just, it syncs really well, and like, the like horror, these like blood splats to the song, this level is so cool. I love this level, dude. This was definitely my favorite Extreme Demon I had beaten for a while, until, I mean, I think the thing levels we'll only get into in the last episode of this series, but okay, how does this work? Bad checkpoint, perhaps? Yeah, this level's so cool. I love this level, dude. Like, yeah, these... Yeah, I did think... Like, I thought at the time this was harder than ACU, for sure. No idea what... I mean, based on the fact that this level got demoted and ACU didn't, I guess that's probably a hot take, but... That is certainly what I thought. So... And now, this, like... I still kind of remember... Wow, I like how the fuck do you talk while trying to play? Like, also a level that's, like, pretty well synced. I don't know if you'd call this, like, a sync-based level entirely. But, like, the song definitely helps a lot. God, it's so hard to talk while playing like this, but, like, I still remember, like, learning the drop of Thanatophobia, and, like, I just was having such a blast. I was having so much fun. I still remember, like, playing this for the first time. Oh, hey, we passed this green orb first try. This is... That was a buffer that might have only... That was probably only because of, like, a particular checkpoint, because that green orb is, like, the one flaw with the drop in this level, is that's, like, a pretty stupid timing. Okay, hold on, actually, now, I need to, like, go back and investigate. Like... I want to see, like... Is this actually, like, usually a buffer? Did this also get, like, changed? Is this, like, easier in 2.2 or something? That's, like, very interesting, so yeah. Okay, yeah. It does seem... It's definitely still, like, dependent on your position. I don't think that's actually been, like, fixed magically. which is a little too bad. But yeah, that's fine. It's one kind of bad click. It does not ruin this level, in my opinion, at least. This might just have to be a silent rest of this practice run. I don't know how the hell I can talk and play this level. Just enjoy another minute of Thanaphobia, I guess. Bad checkpoint. I definitely got a little unlucky. I don't remember, like, I know I died to the last click at 85, which you'll see in a second. Yeah, well, I got it there, but I did die to that last dash orb once. I don't think it was twice. But yes, Thanatophobia, my 5th extreme demon, my favorite extreme for a while. Just absolutely love Thana. Apparently I never gave my vote in game, so we'll rectify that real quick. But yeah, Thanatophobia. I was just on quite a tear this time. Beat like Aku and Thana pretty much back to back. Suck. Wow. So, and the hair on GD did not stop because the next big level I beat was wow, I really like cannot talk while also typing apparently. I'd love to play Daydream. Daydream by Yendis. My big boy new hardest demon at last. Cause yeah, Allegiance, I beat these like at least at the ratings at the time, like 5 more, like Layak ICDX, Acuthana, Kata, like 5 other extremes, but Allegiance was still my hardest. And I'd been looking for another big level to top them all. And Daydream by Yendis. Really, it was Supreme who just kind of happened upon this I just a pawn and a cross fused to form Apos. Supreme just stumbled upon this level recently after it came out, beat it, and made a video. And I thought it looked sick, so I wanted to try it. And I loved it, so I beat it. But yeah, this level's really fucking hard. Was obviously my hardest by quite a bit. Much, much harder than, like, any of the... I'd basically beat, like, 5 beginner extreme demons, and this is quite a step up from that. So this might be a rough practice run to go through. Because I don't know how well I'm gonna, like, remember all these timings. Especially because this level is very front-loaded. That was probably part of what helped, like, suck me in, is I did get, like... I'm pretty sure I got, like, 60 to 100 on something, like, day 1. Because the second parts are, like, not nearly as bad. So I was able to get, like, quick progress and get sucked in more. I may well have had a harder time motivating myself to beat this one if I'd, like, started trying to do this gameplay. I would also like to give a quick shout out to Zane for being a clinically insane person and like jumping for each of these individual jumps instead of holding. Like, he literally clicked all of those individually like a crazy person. But yeah, I think this, yeah, that was patched out tragically. You used to be able to hold, you used to be able to just like hold and go to the top of this wave. But yeah, this level unfortunately got like an update with like a couple buffs, weirdly enough. I don't really know why that happened, it's unfortunate. And it's like, I don't think it matters that much. They're not like, like, this wasn't a major buff date, it was just like kind of a couple random clicks to like keep it a little harder. So like, it doesn't make, like, it's still a very good level, I believe. Like, they wasn't drastically changed, just like a few random things. But it's still just annoying. I don't know why it had to happen at all. That you just like have to buff the level a little bit, even if it is only a little bit. Like, why do it at all? Okay, hello. I'm just gonna rock that. Just gonna rock that robot part apparently, and not complaining. That's very nice. This is really difficult. And here we are at the drop. So it obviously gets somewhat easier here. But like, this stuff is still, like, this whole level is very difficult. It's just, like, it's just a hard level. Just big step up from all the beginner experience. Which, not sure it had that reputation the whole time, thanks to a certain person who I don't like, that I will not even name, but you know who it is. Made a video calling this like a beginner extreme, which it's not in the slightest, but oh well. Yeah. It really is, it's quite difficult to commentate over, like, levels is difficult here. But yeah. This UFO is like a, this might be like the wonkiest part of the UFO, but I didn't find it like too bad. The whole level's difficult, but oh yeah, yeah, I thought you jumped there. I'm trying to remember, like, where did I put like my start positions in this level? Cause I used to do a thing where I just like, back in the days before like start position switcher was a mod that existed, I would just make like 5 or 6 copies of a level and just have like each one dedicated to one start position. Because I obviously had one at the drop, and I would have had someone like around here. Like, some part of my brain is telling me it's 46, which, like, I'm probably fusing that with another level. Because, like, this doesn't really make much sense to place a start position here. Maybe it's also different percentages in 2.2 or something. That could be a thing. But yeah. There's also some funny lore to this part. Because these ball clicks coming up in a second. Like, around here, I think. So this ball part was actually, yeah, yeah. I think it's just in that you make I think you used to be a mini here, but this part got updated mid me playing the level. And apparently, like, I sent a message to Yendis on like the GD profile messaging system, which is the thing that like I actually used at the time, I guess. Before like Discord was much of a thing. I mean, obviously I was on Discord at this point, but I couldn't think of how else to contact the creator. But yeah, this part got updated like halfway through me playing this level, which like really sucked. Because I kind of had to reset my muscle memory for that ball. It's like, I believe apparently it was because there was like you could do like a skip, which made it like he didn't want you to be able to just use the part, which fair enough, I guess. And I probably was, like, just about the only person who got fucked up by that update, because, like, it still wasn't, like, a hugely popular level. It got, like, I think it took off a bit more later. But yeah, so there probably wasn't really many, if any, other players who, like, playing it who got screwed over by that update. But yeah, that that update did screw me a little bit, and I had to kind of relearn that part. At least, like, my specific timings. I also do not remember how the fuck this duel works. Bear with me a second here. There we go. And yeah, into the last third here. I think I think my CPS kind of is. It's probably gotten better, honestly. I definitely like use spacebar and mouse simultaneously for that. Because like you can't hold, you have to do two inputs here for the spider and cube. I definitely could do it with one hand now, but I definitely use like spacebar and mouse to make this easier. We're coming up on. Okay, yeah, the percentages are definitely different in 2.1 because I'm pretty sure this used to be 69%. But yeah, this very infamous choke point here, this straight fly. Wow. My voice is already getting tired. Just need water. Might have to make this episode a little bit shorter than I wanted, but anyway, we're not done anywhere near yet. Yeah, this ship is quite an infamous choke point, which it is difficult. I definitely died here several times, but I don't find like this level is somewhat choke point based, but like I don't know if I'd describe it as like completely like defined by the choke points or anything. Like, it still feels like it is mostly just, like, a fast-paced or, like, timing level. It doesn't feel like the choke points are its whole identity. It just has a couple of them, which is a little unfortunate, but I still mostly view this as, like, a fast-paced and timing level. Yeah, I think this one also, you know, I might have also... Hold on, I was just being the goat for a second and, like, still remembering how to play this level somehow. Okay, let's just let's just finish the practice run, and then it's a little easier to talk on the menu, if perhaps more boring. So this also, I think those ball flicks were one of the things that was just randomly buffed in an update for no reason. But yeah, Daydream by Endus. This was an absolutely excellent new artist, I think. It's quite tough, but it's just really fun. It's really well made. Like, there are certainly things like how beginning heavy it is make it's not necessarily a level for everyone, but I think it's a level everyone should, like, at least give a shot. Because I think the gameplay is just very fun. Like, not everyone will like it, but you can give it a try. Because it's just a banger level. But yeah, this kind of was... This was my big break, finally getting a level, like, much harder than Allegiance. Which was a pretty big deal for my confidence, I would say. And overall, like, this is just a level... Like, I think it does... It's almost... This level almost might have kind of defined what I think of my skill set now as. Because, like... This level does have plenty of, like... kind of difficult shit parts, and it is just, like, fast-paced and timing-based. And, like, that's kind of the levels I often think of myself being the best at in the modern age. And, like, I think a lot of that kind of came from this. This level, like, definitely boosted that skill set for me. Or maybe I, like, already was good at it, and that's, like, why I was able to beat this in a reasonable amount of time, but, like, this kind of is my skill set. This is the type of level I think I'm very good at, more so than some other skill sets. So yeah, Daydream, my beloved, special place in my heart. Because yeah, I believe I would have beaten this at like the end of February, because it was an interesting experience. I remember I was on sort of a deadline for this, because I had like a week-long ski trip coming up at the end of the month, which in a lot of cases would have been stressful, but in this case, this was kind of a rare case of, I could tell, I just knew I was gonna beat it before. Like, the level was consistent and fair, and I knew I was good enough at the level that I was on a deadline, but it, like, didn't matter, because I actually had, like, complete confidence in myself that I would beat it before I had to go. And I did. So, yeah, my confidence was justified. But yeah, I don't believe it was terribly long, but probably after this level and on my trip, I definitely take like a little break from Geometry Dash. I don't think it was that long, but took a little bit of a break, probably at least like a couple weeks not really playing it. But the next level I want to play, Convection. This level became, this is another level that just was rolled into the Supreme's Random Demon series and sort of became a staple of our friend group, at least. Because, yeah, this level I beat for the interesting milestone of my 50th Insane Demon, which I'd been creeping up on for a while, but. And this was kind of, at least in my memory, this was sort of the comeback. Like, this was the next, like, difficult level I did after Daydream. So yeah, I might just take the... Now, we're not taking the LDM, we're not babies. But yeah, this level, this might also be a little hard to commentate over, but... because it's pretty learny, but... This level is just really cool. It's got a very neat theme of it goes, like, between, like, hot and cold themes and colors. Like, between every part. This part is all, like, this part is orange. And the next part's gonna be, like, blue again. And yeah. It's also, like, actually a little more on the second half heavy, which is kind of uncommon. Like, I don't know. I wonder if that's really, like, changed much in, like, the modern age, but it definitely felt like there were more, like, first half heavy levels, just kind of in the game in general. But this one is actually more second half heavy. Apparently that's a bad checkpoint. But yeah. Convection is... yeah, it's kind of just like a good mid-range Insane Demon. Like, I just think this level is extremely fun and, like, interesting, unique. Like, it's just a great level for everyone to be in. This one I also low-key, I just want to, like, play it a little bit. This duel, I feel like, I don't remember if I had any issues with it. Also cool that wave, like, once. That definitely used to have some hurts bugs. But yeah. I think this is like Hell Pegasus. I think this is like probably the hardest part. Maybe? I don't know. That's kind of what I remember vaguely. Mostly like that wave. But yeah, this part's just got some tough stuff. This level is also quite difficult to commentate over. All these like learning levels are like this, but that's kind of bad. Where am I among these effects? Is this like, is this broken? Like, I have to be doing something wrong, right? Like, I hope this level isn't somehow broken. Well, I don't think I'm supposed to go down there. Okay, well, jumping for some reason worked anyway. But yeah. Just trying to consider if I have anything else I can add about convection. Yeah, this was just my 50th Insane Demon. Which is kind of crazy to think I've now done double that number. Took me a long time to get there, but... This wave this is a cool ending. I mean, this isn't really the ending, but this like sloopy block wave I really like. I mean, there's this dash orb thing is maybe a little questionable, but I found it worked fine, I think. I think I died at 90, but I didn't have any deaths past that. Which is definitely nice. There is a somewhat notable 99 choke, but it's not that hard, it's just like a little bit of a timing. Surely we hit it first try in this practice run, right? Hell yeah. It's not that tight, but you definitely can die at 99, which is a little unfortunate. Isn't there like a funny end screen if you do? Let's check that out. Yeah. What if we kiss at 99 in convection? That's pretty funny. But yeah. I guess not as many words came out about that one either, but convection, I think it's a really good level. Good mid-range, kind of flowy, insane. It's just like, it's just cool and kind of unique. It's like there's like an actual theme. It's not just generic designs. I like the song. It's just a banger. Convection is a banger. I'm happy I did it for my 50th Insane Demon. Based on the time in my voice, I was thinking I'd have a few more levels, but I think we're only going to do one more. That being Narvin. This level's funny. So I kind of did this level for my 700th demon. I say kind of because I don't even remember how specifically I saw this level, but I did just like see this level the day it came out. Like, okay, I verified by Mr. Spaghetti. I must have just like seen the verification like pop up the day it came out. I was just like, hey, it looks kind of neat. I kind of want to try and just like beat that. So I did just go and beat this. And it is like a little debatable if I can count it as my 700th demon because it didn't actually get rated for like quite a while after, I don't think. But if I if it was rated immediately, I beat it in the position that it would have been my 700th demon. So honestly, like, screw you, I'm still gonna count it as my 700th, even if it wasn't rated for a long time after. So yeah. This level is neat. This is a pretty terrible checkpoint. I guess there's not really, like, that much that's very special about the level in itself, but it is mostly just It was like a pretty high-end insane demon. It was kind of debated if it would be like an extreme when it dropped out. Which, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about that, but... Also, I'm pretty sure the, like, transition into this drop used to be blind, and there was, like, a patch on the second day to update that. So there's a small fun fact for you. Yeah. Man, this level, it's neat, it's normal, it's just kind of... This one is, I guess, unlike Convection, a little more generic, kind of just some flowy glow design, but it's not too bad, and it mostly is. This mostly was just an interesting story to me in particular for... You do have to click a fair bit in it. That's kind of like the one thing that definitely makes it harder than it might otherwise be, is it's just a lot of inputs. It's a little spammy. Yeah. Nothing too special about the level. Oh, hey. Wait, did they remove that? That's crazy. Okay, there used to just be, for some fucking reason, be like a D block here, and you could just like slide here and not do a click. I have no idea why the fuck that was a thing, but evidently it was removed at some point. So that's a little funny. But yeah. This mostly was just a cool level, as I was saying, in my personal experience for just kind of finding a level and just, hey, I can just beat this pretty difficult level in like 2 sittings, like under 24 hours. I definitely grinded this level pretty hard, trying to see if I could like beat it first. Obviously, I'm not nearly good enough to actually beat it first. Many others beat me to it, but it's probably still within the first like 10 or 15 people to beat it. So it was pretty neat. How the hell does this work? Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I don't think this level's that well known, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a ton of other people's perspectives on it, but I think it's a neat level. There's nothing too special, but I think it's pretty good. I'd probably recommend this still. Oh. Might also just be one more little silent lock-in to try and finish this off. Yeah. It's ending here. I think it's a little funny, like, this part is, like, so laggy. There's, like, an extra LDM just for this part, and, like, it's really funny, there's just a trigger orb at, like, 30 or something, perhaps you saw it, that says, like, viral LDM. Because that's the creator of this part. And they just had to put it, like, randomly in the middle of the level, an extra LDM trigger, which I find amusing. And then this wild-ass end screen that's gonna drop my FPS like crazy. This... I mean, the end screen looks really good. It's oddly detailed for this kind of random level. But yeah, Narvik was a cool level that I'm still going to credit as my 700th demon, even if that's somewhat debatable. But yeah, this was another just kind of this is sort of feeling into just, I am good at the game, and I was just a grinder, and I beat so many different levels. So this is another just cool kind of obscure level I just found, and I just beat this level. That's kind of something like it's definitely also a thing for me and Celeste is I just kind of I'm sure we'll talk more about this in future parts, but like briefly, like I just kind of value being like good and like also diverse in like a game. I really find it cool that I can kind of just beat all kinds of levels. I can kind of just beat whatever levels I want. This is less true with how many extreme demons are out there in the game nowadays. But like I just think it's really awesome to kind of be able to beat whatever the hell I want. Like if we go literally just to like star rated, like how many star rated levels are there? Like 58,000 star rated levels. And like there's only maybe like 1,000 of these that are like the extreme demons that are like way too hard for me to ever consider beating. And like I think that's kind of really fucking awesome. I could at least theoretically eventually if I wanted to spend 30,000 hours in the game, which I don't. But if I did, I could probably beat like 50,000 of the 58,000 rated levels. And I think that's kind of sick to just be able to do whatever I want in the game. There's not really anything stopping me. This is kind of why I just beat so many levels. Because at least when I was more like active in this game, I just liked the game and I just liked to beat as much like different and interesting stuff as I could. But yeah, my voice is wearing out again, so we're gonna call it there. Hopefully get these episodes out a little bit faster, because I am looking pretty hot on Subsonic. If anyone saw my recent stream, I might not upload this until later, but yeah, I kind of need to finish up a few things before I go beat Subsonic, so we're gonna call that episode there. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.